My first 6 videos were about technology in a whole, but this time I want things to be a little bit special, and what I mean by that is I want to talk about things that matters. To do so, in today's video, I will talk about computer programming. Hi, my name is Kensei and welcome to Keeping Tighter. If you're interested in tech news, reviews, and some cool tips and tricks, feel free to subscribe to this channel and to follow me on other social networks. Before jumping into the core of the video, for the people who don't really know exactly what a programmer is, basically it is something that writes code that tells a computer what to do. The common real life example of that is when you're cooking something that you don't really know the existence at the first place. You must have a recipe for it that tells you the exact items that you'll need and how to mix them in order to complete the meal. That is the exact same for a computer. You cannot just say, hey computer, I want to create the next Instagram or Facebook. You must write everything from scratch. It doesn't have to be from scratch, but you have GitHub. GitHub is like a giant library filled with books about unlimited resources for your next meal. For beginners, those lines of code can be very scary, like about a book. Remember what I said, computers do what they're told. And to speak with a computer, you must provide them codes. An initial source code is written, but the computer cannot really understand that code, at least not yet. Then a compiler processes the statement written in a programming language and turns them into machine code. 1 and 0s, a binary language that the computer can understand, which again is called machine code. Within the programming universe, there is two things that I want you to differentiate. The first is software engineer / developer. A software developer develops programs that are suited to run on a computer, a smartphone, etc., like Facebook Messenger, Photoshop, Final Cut Pro. Their job is to design, develop, maintain, test, and evaluate computer software. This software interacts directly with your computer's processor. And the second is web developer. A web developer is a programmer who is specialized in the development of worldwide web application or application that runs over HTTP, CSS, HTML format server, any web local server to a client, a web browser. The most used programming language in 2019 with no particular order are JavaScript, Java, Python, TypeScript, PHP, C++, CSS, Go. More on them later. Now, if you are the kind of person who likes to resolve problems, pick one, give it a try. At least you'll know something new, and yes, sometimes coding can make you better at taking real-life decisions. So, you want to be a programmer. Step 1. Establish why you want to code. It is something that you'll want to only care about on your free time. Is it something that you want your career to be based on? Because programming can be sometimes time consuming. And if your future will be coding, you need to start ASAP. Step 2. In what field you'll work? Are you going to be a software developer? Because I guess you won't go far if you want to make a computer application with HTML. And if you choose web development, are you going to be the front end, the back end, or you'll go full stack? The front end developer works on that you see on the website, the user interface. The back end works on what you can see, but like if I click on that, what will happen? And they're required to write web application and other complicated programs which provide the framework for the website to run on. Or a database administrator. The database administrator have a number of roles. They are mainly responsible for taking large amounts of company data and securing, organizing, and analyzing it. If you love statistics and consumer data analysis, you should take a closer look at what a database administrator does. Mobile app development. As the number of smartphone users grows, the demand for exciting new mobile apps also grows. Mobile app development is quickly becoming one of the most lucrative programming fields, especially if you are good at working on your own. Freelance work is very common for mobile programming. Step 3. Learn a programming language. Once you have settled on a programming field, you need to learn the language that are relevant to that field. For example, you will need CSS and JavaScript to become a front-end web developer in something like Java or Swift if you want to start building mobile apps. Below are some of the most popular programming language and their uses. Make sure that you do your research to ensure that you are learning the right language for the field that you are hoping to get into. Python, one of the most versatile and widespread programming language in the world. Python is a great choice for people who want to work in data science, software development, or pretty much any other programming field. Python is also used in a number of emerging technologies like machine learning and artificial intelligence. CSS and HTML. If you want to get into any sort of front-end web development, then HTML and CSS are an absolute must. Although there are two separate languages, they are almost exclusively used together to create engaging, cleverly designed web pages. JavaScript. JavaScript is another versatile programming language which is used for a number of things. If you want to learn how to become a programmer, JavaScript will be a good place to start. It is used for interactive front-end web design, back-end web app development, game development, and even robotics. Java. If you want to learn how to become a computer programmer, learn Java. Java is up there with Python as one of the most versatile language in the world. It is quite simple to learn, it words like English, and it is a favorite among beginners. It is used for everything from Android mobile apps development to backend web app development. Swift. Swift was recently released by Apple with the aim of making iOS app development simple and allows beginners to build mobile iOS apps without too much trouble. If you want to learn how to be a programmer for iOS apps, learn Swift. Ruby, the last language on our list. Ruby has become popular due to its use as full-stack web development language. Originally designed in Japan for building games, Ruby is another versatile language with a number of use cases and is definitely worth considering if you want to get into web or game development. Step 4. Practice, practice, and practice some more. So, you want to know how to become a programmer, right? Well, here's a little secret for you. You have to practice. You have to practice a lot. That's right. Surprise. The key to becoming a good programmer is practice. Practice written code from the moment you start learning. Download a code editor in your browser and write your own little programs. Share them and ask other people to critique you and your code. Try and learn something new every single day and practice until you are completely fluent in all aspects of your chosen languages. I find it a good practice to try and learn something new every day. This could be a new piece of syntax, a new tool that you can use with your favorite language. It doesn't matter as long as you continue to learn. Remember this. You can never know too much, but you need to start simple. Focus on one language to begin with, and don't move to the next until you have a good grip on the first. You might get a little bit confused. You need to stop worrying about how to be a programmer and just start learning. Sure, it'll be difficult to start with, but things will start to make more sense as you learn. The trick is not to bite off too much to start with. Ask for help. The coding community is super friendly and most people are willing to help fellow programmers. Join an online discussion board or chat room and ask for help when you need it. In the same way, don't be afraid to ask other people to improve your code. In fact, a lot of people will jump at the chance because it will help them learn too. Then what are you waiting for? Get out and then start learning how to become a programmer. It doesn't matter if you have been searching for the answer to how to become a programmer for months. And if you are just stumbled across the video today, programming is a very diverse field and it offers something for everyone. It doesn't matter if you are 18 years old or you are 40 years old. If you are really willing to set your mind to it, you can learn how to become a programmer.